All right, got that cleaned up. It's looking good. Everything is squared away in here. Same thing on the other side. I got it cleaned up and squared away, so that's done. Up here I got the console slightly torn apart, but I got my switch run up in there, and I got this thing out. I'm going to do some work on this and make this right. I've been thinking about it quite a bit. What I think I'm going to do is just replace this panel down here. I've got some plastic in there to do this kind of stuff with, and put it back together with the switch, with the plugs in place. Because in here I've got a cigarette lighter style plug, and then I've got 3 sets of USBs that are around 3 amps capable. So I got plugs in here to plug anything I want. I just need to put and I think I'll put the switch. I think I'm going to switch the switch from that switch to this switch, right? And this panel goes right here, and once I get it in place, I'm going to put a piece of carpeted something over here to make this all look better, and I'm going to do a little bit to clean this up some. These are the things I'm working on right now. Little projects. Yeah. All right. We have the DSP relocated up there. And this little dude right here is the Bluetooth connection. It allows me to play music without having a wire from the radio. So I use my tablet to Bluetooth to this, and then all the signal goes out of here into the amplifiers. Alright, I have a bunch of this. This stuff has a smooth, shiny side and a nice textured side. So it can literally build whatever I want to build. And it's, I think that's maybe 1/8 of an inch thick. Yeah. But with bends and ridges in it, it'd be plenty strong. So I could just cut a piece out and put it down in here and rebottom that and whatever. I don't really like that. There's so much wasted real estate, and looking at these pieces are just a little bit wider than this piece is, and where that console is, if I could get this to lay in there nicely, I could cut it off back enough room to get the cup holders in there, and then, you know, do something like this and come all the way up here. It would give me a lot of real estate to build it however I want to. But what's in my head, if we're honest, is something that I can't get it in there, but something that's up in here and kind of comes up at an angle. I don't know. That's just kind of what's cooking. But again, I said things evolve as you start to mess with them. You start to figure things out. So let's take this outside and look at it on the console and see how well it lays. All right, it's It's freaking 1:30 in the morning, so you know it's nighttime. It may be too big to lay in here the whole sheet. Let me see here. I don't know. Might actually. Oh man. So that's gonna lay in there nicely like that. I think we can make that work. Now, I got my front sub over here, so I have to keep that in mind. It's right there. That's my little up front subwoofer. It's not playing right now. It's not hooked up right now, but it does work. Sounds amazing. So I want to account for it. But this will go in there all the way. The whole sheet will fit. Get that wire out of the way. It will go in there all the way over the speaker and up into there and come all the way back to here. So with a little bit of overhang back here, it'll fit in there nicely. Now, you know, there's people watching right now. Y'all are going, man, that looks cool. You should totally do that. And man, I almost agree with you, except I gotta have my cup holder. I ain't gonna put out my cup holders, but I know that it'll fit. I know that this is a possibility. My brain's going. I need to figure out where this cup holder is in relation to this plastic. This is what's cooking. So I'll mark it there. And do I want to capture it, or do I want to allow it to come out? There's no need for it to come out. Really. I could just go ahead and glue it in here. No need whatsoever for that to come out. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to capture it. So in other words, I want to make my cut further back this way and further back that way. Alright. Then I want to come in here on this side, like so, get it centered up the way I want it. And then I'll come in here and do a line a little bit over there and a little bit over here. Again, I'm capturing. So now I have the side to side and the top to bottom. And all I got to do is extend those lines and I'll have my cutout. This is an 8, but the basket and the flange and everything be wide enough to simulate a 10, which falls right in this area here. I know exactly where it's at because I spent a lot of time custom building that shape to fit it. Now, since this is the bottom of the panel, I can actually mark this one. So what I'm going to do is use the thickness of the marker and to add this extra dimension. And that ain't right. It lays my way, didn't it? Yeah. Okay. We'll cut that one. We'll leave that one. And we'll do that one. So the outside pieces. And then we're going to come in and match this because this worked before. We'll come in and match that. So we just need to cut out this chunk right here. And we'll have the subwoofer cut out. Alright, I got a couple of these tiny little pan heads. Little bitty jokers. Be perfect. Back side of my knife. I went around and scratched up the surfaces where the glue is going to be landing at. So we should have good adhesion. In my experience, I found that wood glue works fine with plastics. They have similar properties. As long as the surface has got some roughness to it, it will adhere very well. And I'm going to leave this in here because it does not matter. Structurally, it kind of adds some rigidity to this, so I'm just going to leave it in there. It's going to get covered up anyway. So let's get started. And I'm going to end up doing some melting on this to shape it, that part. After I get it glued down, basic glue down, I'm going to end up doing some shaping on it with the heat gun. And to make it fit better, and it's mainly sitting on the outside edge out here. So that's why I'm putting that bulk of that adhesive. Now I'm going to add a little bit to this ridge. And I'm going to put some on the cup holder thing. Just in case it wants to grab. And also this glue can run down the sides. I discovered that this does not sit on the bottom, so it doesn't really glue to glue that part. It sits on a little bracket inside there, so we're just going to let it. We're just going to let it jam like this. Try to get the glue in that crack there and let it get down in there, and that'll hold it nicely. All right. Now, I'm going to grab this towel here, and I'm going to carefully get this glue off this inside part. Because this stuff pretty much dries clear, but not quite. And I want to try to make this look as good as I can. That's the idea. Before I put this on there. Then I got to do the screws. And that's right where I planned it to be. See, I'm going to wind up filling this in with glue up here or melting. That's my plan. Let's see if I can do some delicate screwing with the most undelicate of drivers. There's my other ones out in the Tahoe. I got to be careful with this. This will get crazy. All right. Right there. Oops. Quit moving. Right there. Should have started that screw elsewhere. There we go. That took some doing. When it grabbed. Hold that up. This other one over here. Fell into the back, making sure I've got it something close to straight. Like I said, it's a very angry drill. It just goes quickly. It's from 0 to hero all at one time. Right. I could put a fastener back here, but I really don't want one up here. Now what's going to happen is when this thing gets done doing its magic trick, setting up and whatnot, all night probably, I'm going to put one or two of these guys in here on its own, and I'm going to put that rocker switch on here, right over here on the side, or on this side closest to me. It'd flip up, and then I'll have the charger there for charging purposes. But there's going to be a switch right there for the system to turn everything on, you know. That guy right there will be there. So get in and fire it up, and that's on. You get out, that shuts it down. I like it. Turbo. We need some weight on this sucker. I don't know what works. Cast iron skillet will give it some weight. Let it think about what it did. You hold that skillet. You hold it high. You think about what you did.